SK on Cobble. Again, they were undefeated up until that point, and it comes at just the right time in the grand finals of this tournament. What a proper way to do it with this on the line. Cloud9, like I said, getting this around the T side, and of course, it's Stewie already just running out into Olaf, but he's going to be the snake in the grass. It's really going to be an inner hit this whole time. He's just trying to see what pressure he can create by himself, and so far, it's a good amount.
Surprisingly, Taco did not expect there to be any more players after shooting on the cross and landing himself a kill. SK, though, have somewhat stabilized for a few more moments before autimatic goes in and domes felps. Fallen will come back with a kill of his own, avenging his fallen compadre. And now Shrouds in a 1-on-2. Fur is exceptionally low. This is where the Glock can be so powerful, so deadly. And he's working the train in perfect position. There's the first Shroud on the brink of clutching this round out. Fallen's going to just try and tap the sight and lands the shot. Intelligent play, but more importantly, precision in aim. If he misses that, Shroud had an opportunity to stop him defusing, and it was very close to detonating, but SK do pick it up. Yeah, Fallen having the kick is in the luxury of being able to toy around with Shroud a little bit there. He taps the bomb, he forces Shroud to have to spam the smoke to stop the defuse, and it gives him the ability to kind of move out and just finish the job. A well-crafted round by C9. It's just that I think the upper push and enter kind of let SK know what was up, and so no matter what Stewie did in the outer, they were never going to be fooled, and they were always going to be able to rotate the way they needed to. One way of starting the second map after a disappointing first one. Fallen was pretty absent as well on that first map, so they get a 3k and a clutch. I'm sure is going to make him feel pretty good about things. Deagles in play, 3 of them to be precise, and the P250 with a Glock. Of course, Skadoodle not really investing anything into this as he is the AWPer. autimatic's going to lose his Deagle and his life in the process. And now Cloud9 is going to be hoping for some crazy one-taps to get themselves onto the site. Otherwise, SK will take a 2-0 lead. coldzera not too far away from being on the receiving end of a battering, courtesy of nothing. He was by far the star player of Cloud9 on that first map. Ended with just shy of a 30. Can't get the damage done. coldzera will be able to escape with 9 health, but now it's all or nothing, and they have spotted his position. So if nothing gets more than a kill out of this, it would be impressive. Won't be happening. SK retain all 5 players.
A clean victory there for SK, even the ability to keep these UMPs going to farm more cash. Obviously, Fur with his trusty MP9, such a nuisance on Mirage, in particular on the A side of the map, but also can put it to use at ladder room. It's kind of the trademark position for Fur on this map. That's the big thing about SK now on the CT side of Train, is the fact that you can do these aggressive outer yard setups with Fur and Felps, 2 very aggressive prone riflers who like to play in forward positions. You can double up on T-Con, ladder, E-box, things like that, and really choke and suffocate a team trying to find space. But autimatic did creep out, so he will get to jump onto Fur. Felps, though, with a great response, so at least keep it somewhat even.
Good shot by Fallen. Dispatch to Skadoodle. And you assume that there's going to be quite a lot of bloodshed between those two as this map goes on. But early doors, Fallen does have the upper hand. Nothing's able to just maneuver his way onto the site and get the bomb down for free. There's no one around Pop Dog, so this is going to be a plan. And a finalized one at that. Now, autimatic and nothing have to somehow rummage together this post-plant defense. autimatic looking into Pop Dog, nothing up onto the green train. They have their angles covered, and unbeknownst to them, all 3 players are going to be coming from roughly the same area. Fallen has spotted the head of nothing as it just peeks up over the train. There is a Molotov in play for Taco, and he's going to need to throw that sooner rather than later. As now autimatic's going to go to task. He's been volleyed off, and here comes the spray, and nothing. And autimatic are going to get the flawless retake hold under their belt. Cloud9 do pick up the round in style.
Big round from autimatic. It really started with him being able to sneak out into Olaf. I don't think Fur anticipated that at all, and that really got the jump on SK. There was a great recovery from Felps and Fallen, sure, but nothing in autimatic stick around to close things off. They pull off the 2v3 clutch, and they get their first round on the board. SK will buy back up, but again, a bit limited. A lot of UMPs involved in this mix, but Fallen still has the op, and that certainly is beneficial.
Will break the deadlock early on in round 4. It's important that Cloud9 can keep that momentum after winning. They keep going in winning ways, and Shroud does come down into Pop Dog. But Felps is laid in wait with open arms. And Shroud will not be escaping with his scout. Instead, Shui goes for the spray, but felps is not going to fall for that. He's already moved out and relocated. Stewie will take him down afterwards. Didn't quite spot that, but I assume that felps went back in for seconds and got caught napping. Fallen gets caught from the side, and what is happening here is nothing goes for another one. He just walks straight out. All guns blazing. 2 players fall by his feet. And nothing continues to be the Terminator for Cloud9. He fears no man. There's another trade that goes his way. This time, though, coldzera was at least shooting back. And it's good to see that nothing hasn't slowed down from that first map performance. 2-2.
The big detail there that may have been missed is the fact that coldzera was playing Ivy, but he just happened to angle out at the wrong time, because nothing literally finds the perfect window of just maybe a couple of seconds to slip out of Ivy and get into the outer yard without coldzera noticing and being able to communicate it over to his teammates, which means he just blindsides 2 players in the yard and cracks that open. And now C9 tie up the game. SK have to take a save here. Cloud9 could now look to take the lead right away. We do already have Stu out with Shroud taking this outer yard, and everything has been pretty clean thus far. Stu takes some damage, sure, but still no casualties suffered, and it will be the clean sweep, as C9 have won the last 3 rounds in a row.
In style at that, including a 2-on-3 hold after the plant into a brisk play from nothing. That was the easiest of the rounds, but SK, they're not out of the woods just yet. I mean, their economy is still in dire straits. They're looking at a UMP and a scout and not much else just to equalize the economy. This does afford them a decent buy in the next round, but Cloud9 now, they have the start of this map in the palm of their hands.
And Stu slips out again at Olaf. So again, he might be able to poke and prod a little bit here over towards the Ivy angle as he does sniff out. Fallen does a lot of damage down to 7 HP. Softening up the underbelly of SK's defense here on the outer yard. And even good find Fur dancing through all these smokes.
Taco's going to go down. Yeah, Fallen is very low. coldzera is put down in his place, and Stewie is just having a field day out. Fallen finally will go down to a Molotov, a stray Molotov at that, and Stewie somehow lives to fight another day after running out of ammunition. Very nearly cost him his life, but Cloud9 for the 2nd consecutive time will be picking up the round without any losses.
And Stewie created so much pressure by himself. He held everyone in outer yard, and it was all a ruse for C9 to slip into a very undefended inner bomb site. And so now that's 4 in a row for C9. SK are finally able to buy back into it, and they're going to have the double AWP.
Yep, that is the reason for the previous couple of weak rounds, so they could get their hands on 2 sniper rifles. Bit of early damage inflicted to the T-main push. coldzera's going to burn quite a bit if he's not careful. Moving to the box, I'm not sure Shroud realizes this, and if coldzera goes out for another peek, that could be curtains. Fur comes through, they line up for him. I'm sure he got wide-eyed at that one, assuming that he would have a whole bunch of kills, but only 1 comes to his name. Still information will be gathered. That smoke, though, for all felps realizes, could be Cloud9 retreating out of T-mains.
And Shroud took down Cold's up, Metis. That's massive. That AWP's off the board, and they had the man advantage because of Shroud's efforts. That was off camera. Just wanted to point that out. Have a substantial impact going forward now, as this really makes things a lot more difficult on SK to move across the map. Taco luckily able to get the kill and get the AWP back.
Unfortunately for SK, they're able to get some more trades going their way. Skadoodle gonna miss, and Fallen will not make the same mistake. 3-4 was looking good for Cloud9 for a few moments there with the early trades, but then SK just woke up from their slumber.
Yeah, great response by Taco and Inner Halls to slow down Shroud, get the AWP back so they still have the double op set up in this round. Also good play from felps inside ladder room, really shut down C9 coming out of T-connector, despite the fact that some of the early exchanges did not go SK's way.
Four orbs in play, 2 apiece. Autimatic this time is the player to play very aggressive through and T-main. That molly is not going to spread to him. And in the meanwhile, the player that's pushing up on the train will be found out. And it's Autimatic. It almost baited them into a false sense of security, seeing that Molotov go down outside of T-main. They assumed it would be a brick wall. Autimatic was having none of it, and another opening pick goes the way of Cloud9.
Yeah, they're going to have the instant 5-on-4. They're already starting to get a little bit of position here towards outer. They have Shroud right above ladder. They have nothing still putting presence at Ivy. They haven't committed to actually taking into anything yet. See, the thing is with Train, there's really no way just to take straight up map control without also entering a site, right? Like, if you take Ivy control, you're basically into the outer yard. If you take Brown Hall's control, I mean, that usually isn't really trying to be captured by CTs anyway. It's not like there's like a mid or something that you could take control of it and use it as a launching pad. Like, whatever you're doing, you're going into a site.
Well, speaking of going into the site, seems like Cloud9 have got their eye set on B. Stewie's going to be first in to check up on the catwalk side with his AWP. coldzera is going to dismantle autimatic, and Stewie has got himself a pick. That's going to alleviate some of the pressure on the site. Now Taco's on the site by himself, but not for too much longer as Stewie takes him down. And Fallen has to seriously think about whether he wants to go for this retake or not. Pushing out in the Molotov has already put him down to 39, but he's trying to bank on the idea that they're not expecting him to be out this fast, so he can get at least one pick before they realize where he is. The problem with that is Stewie has the reactions of a god and just flicks off the head of Fallen.
So that clean sweep by SK at the start has been responded to by Cloud9 in a big way. And now the money for SK has been reset. It's probably the most crippling thing. And they were doing double op, so that was spending a lot of money when they were winning rounds. Or round, I should say. And so they're actually going to force up around it, knowing that they're going to have to full save next round no matter what. At least this gives them a chance to avoid that by maybe winning around these UMPs. And Taco draws first blood on the Brown Hall's push, quickly traded by Shroud. And so C9 know what they're up against. They know what the benefits are now of winning this round. They know if they can take this 7-3 is so likely. This is a 2-for-1 deal for Cloud9.
Not too much to play against in terms of firepower. UMPs and CZs. 2 flashes, no kits, and time to burn. Felps is going to be feeling like he needs to push up here. The downside of doing this, though, is if he misses out on this opportunity, he is going to fall down. Automatic is going to switch to a nade. It costs him his life, but no further casualties will be forthcoming for the time being. Fur's going to play the close angle on the train. I love this position. The Corvator came through. He sees the shadow, and Shroud probably is going to be a dead man any second now. And to make matters worse, the bomb's been thrown out on the first side of the bomb. The site is actually working against Cloud9. It's blocking off their vision. They cannot see anything. And Skadoodle's going to go all out with his Tech 9. Is tapping at range. coldzera's going to fall to the Tech 9 of Stewie. And Cloud9 will pick up a 6, but that was way too close for comfort.
Surely. I mean, yeah, SK did put a lot into that round to give themselves a chance, and they almost got it, but Cloud9 hold it off, and again, this is their reward. A round where SK have really nothing they can buy into this. It'll just be the 250s coming out on a few players. Fallen, of course, will just USP. He wants to make sure he can get that AWP out in the next round. So this should really just be an easy round for Cloud9. They really shouldn't have too much trouble dealing with this. Shouldn't the keyword, of course.
Yeah. Often in CS should doesn't really mean too much. As it's just been highlighted by Fallen going in and landing a USP headshot to autimatic. And the second kills came down. Fallen's going to use the AK against the terrorists. And keep in mind that he's on full health. There's no Kevlar though for the CTs across the board. So it's all well and good getting the weapon away. This is where aim punch is going to start to be an enemy as well. On top of Shroud, nothing in Stewie. Nothing's going to try and push his way through connector. No one's home, but it is going to be a bit of information gathered for the rest of his team. And although the bomb is dropped, it is salvageable for Cloud9. Nothing's going to get peeked from felps, and the AWP is going to work against Cloud9 too. SK came into this round with basically nothing, and they are on the brink of breaking Cloud9 in this.
3 250s and a 5-7's all it took, and it was a USP that dealt the first kill from Fallen. And so you got past the hard part of winning the force buy in the last round. This should be basically your just desserts round. You've got past the main course, and now all of a sudden, they're in a 2 versus 4. Felps has an AWP in play. The AK's still out on Fallen. He's already gotten 2 kills on the round. Time is a huge factor now. They already have great positioning for Inner. This couldn't have gone worse for Cloud9.
And to make matters worse, Felps has got himself another pick. Stewie's going to fake the bomb. See if he can throw out some of these CTs. And he will get what he asked for. Taco with a 5-7. Not only have SK won the round, they only lose 1 player. This is going to boom their economy up several notches. Cloud9 have let a begging chance go wanting.
Yeah, that is devastating that Cloud9 loses a round like that. Again, they were so well set up to just extend the lead. And instead, they're going to see SK coming up to them a lot faster than they hoped for. Double AWP in effect for both teams, actually. Again, you don't see W on T-side trained that often. As Stu's looking for the pick here against Fallen, he's not going to find it. Fallen will instead back away with the advantage, but look at the response from C9.
felps caught in two minds. It's whether look at T-Main or Pop Dog. Watching the outsides of the smoke. Turning his back on it is dangerous, but he knew that another smoke was being thrown down from his teammate. 3 playing 3. Very centralized defense by SK and sweeper rolls, so if either side is forced, they can quickly rotate as a trio. Molotov, couple flashes. Here comes the peek. Taco gets tagged but not put down. That could be so important. Going through the latter stage of this round as felps comes through with the A4. Finally, Taco will be finished off. And Skadoodle's going to get traded out with felps, who runs by with a P250. The reason so many people get triggered by this weapon, it just bested nothing with full Kevlar and an AK. And just put Cloud9 down into an eco.
So here we're seeing the response from SK. They've won the last 2 rounds in a row. They finally have Cloud9's back against the wall money-wise. They're going to have a great chance to tie this thing up as Cloud9 only can rely upon some upgraded pistols and just a sparse amount of utility in this round. No armor to back anybody up, and Cold's already found Shroud.
Again, you can't help but go back to that moment with the P250s and the 5.7. Could that be the moment where SK clawed their way back in? Cloud9 were looking favorites to take something like a 4-8 lead.
Yeah.
And yet here we are, nearly all even.
Definitely hurts, as now Cloud9, the best they can hope for is just to try to get these flashes in the inner and look for a bomb plant, but Taco's playing up close. He's not going to allow that to happen. They get stuck on the barrel, and Taco lights them up, so no bomb plant will be found here for C9. No extra money coming through. Nothing? Oh, maybe he has a chance. As soon as I say that, of course, he gets a bomb plant. Well, there you go. Caster's curse, of course.
To be fair to you, though, he really shouldn't be getting that bomb plant. I think that's the key thing. They may be a bit worried that nothing would take a few more heads off and make it a really costly round, but credit to him, he's 13-7. He's continued to apply that pressure from the first map. Does allow Cloud9 a bit of a better buy here as a result of the bomb plant. Can afford an AWP. I mean, they could even afford 2 if they so choose. They went for a double AWP earlier. I don't expect to see that again here. And actually, Skadoodle goes for an AK. He could have afforded an AWP with Kevlar, but goes for full AK purchase. Could suggest we're going to see a fast execute.
We do see a lot of gathering of the forces of C9 here in the Brown Halls right off the bat. No focus at T-Con or Ivy at all. All their eggs are in this basket right off the top. Good incendiaries, though, from SK are slowing things down just a bit. Burr has a forward position on top of the ladder as well. Cold will play a little bit more back as he has that AWP at Z connector.
Could be a call from Cloud9 expecting the double ups to be in play. And as a result, they can get that fast, rapid execute into the face of SK. It's where the double ups could struggle. And here we go. I think that green light's about to be punched in. Looking to stack up outside of the smoke. Shroud did have a flashbang out. Looks like they're going to start to push right here, right now. Fur could be the key man. No one's came up the top side of the catwalk, so he can actually just stand up here for as long as he wants. He can throw the Molotov down onto the site as well, which could very well stop the plan. This has been an absolute train wreck so far. The bomb's gone down, but surely now SK are in prime position to strike, but maybe not. felps has been traded out. Nothing automatic are coming through with kills, and all the trades are going the way of Cloud9. It was a very odd decision, but it seems like it's going to work out after all. Fallen, we've seen him clutch these before. It's just so unlikely that he can do it again, considering the positions, and nothing. Did he just land a headshot in midair?
Indeed, he did. He was also vital because he pushed so deep into the inner bomb site while everything else was popping off. He gets the kill on the Z-Counter player for free. He was kind of the insurance policy. Even though Fur was causing a lot of trouble from the upper ladder position and buying time, the fact that nothing got through the back end of the inner yard really helped things along for C9. So they will find their 7th round. Finally, a response to SK, who had that little streak going there. And money's starting to get low for SK. So if Cloud9 can take this, maybe 9-6 is still a possibility, which would be pretty good to recover after kind of a little bit of a mishap there in that 10th round that we talked about. As Cloud9 will be back to slowing things down again, not looking to do any type of heavy, aggressive push right off the top, looking to take it a little bit more passively, about as default as it gets for this team. The only difference is Ska has that op into inner halls. He knows that there's been a tendency for SK to actually push up there a little bit, so he wants to try to counter that, but not going to find it this time.
So instead he wins the race. Cloud9 tossing out the smokes. They actually aren't going to push directly behind it. We have the benefit of being able to see that 3 of them are moving up towards the Ivy side with the bomb. Of course, SK is still on the edge of their seat, wondering what's about to come at them. Snaking their way down Ivy. No one's here. Plus, no one's watching it just yet. They do have coldzera, but he's only got a FAMAS to his name.
He's got the passive angle. Felps is pushed up in the ladder, though, so depending on how this battle goes with Shroud, he could still be a factor later on, even if Cloud9 get through Ivy. So there's a couple of fail-safes in place for SK, and Fallen's AWP will be the first one to land the mark.
coldzera will get the kill. Fallen comes through with one of his own, nothing, trying to spray through the smoke. Slightly too far to the left-hand side, and now Shroud is taking pot shots wherever he can. 10 seconds left, nothing. A spray back through once again, isn't too far off of landing another one, but this round is laid to rest. It's done. It's over. Cloud9 will be neck and neck at 7 apiece. It looks like nothing will be able to save his AK going through into the last round. We'll boss there by a little bit more, but we are dead even.
So while there wasn't anyone in back halls or right outside of Ivy, the fact that Felps had a good forward position allowed Fallen the freedom to focus at AWP on Ivy. Just get an angle where you wouldn't be exposed to T-Con and be able to handle that. Cold also had a great position, so it was just kind of like, maybe giving a little bit of space away, but making sure they had the angles to stop any type of push into the outer yard itself. And now it's the last round of the half. It's a close race right now at 7-all. And Fallen, he's found the first pick here at Ivy. Cold mops up the rest of it. The heavy Ivy push from Cloud9. Oh my goodness, it's already over.
The thing is, though, Skadoodle's on 3 and 10. That's going to have to change here. He's by far and away the least of the impactful AWPers. I mean, Falls on 15 frags. So if Skadoodle doesn't show up in the second half, things could get messy real fast. We could be heading to Inferno. But let's see what SK have in store for this pistol. Bit of utility on Fallen. He's already thrown out his smoke and one of his flashes. Make that a second one. Autimatic. Cannot see a single thing. Now the snowstorm is dissipated and he's able to open up and get some frags for himself. Autimatic with one. Looking for a second. He's going to connect that one as well, but finally gets put down. Skadoodle, who's up on the catwalk, unable to help his teammate out. They have the player advantage. They still have control of the defuse kit. But it's all about this flash into connector attack. Oh, it's going to try and put them both down. Didn't quite get it done. That could have been the moment where SK took this round and ran with it. Instead, Fallen's going to fall to the hands of nothing. And coldzera on the site, 3 separate angles to cover with the Glock. And it's not going to be a good time for him. In factual fact, he's going for the knife. Are you mad? Because I'm not. Cloud9 have picked up their second pistol.
Extra money, of course. No other reason for that knife kill.
Yeah. Nice little boosted amount of money, and he knew that coldzera was out of bullets too, because he was clearly trying to reload.
That was definitely a very low-risk knife kill to get a big reward. And I think you really kind of nailed it there. I mean, the biggest thing that could have gone wrong was if Taco actually got both those kills in Z off the back of that pop flash, and he almost did, but didn't quite find the second kill, and that gave Cloud9 a bit more breathing room to follow through with the retake. Also had to give some props to autimatic, had a couple of really nice kills off the top in the initial take to keep Cloud9 in it. And now it is all squared up, and we do see the Tech-9 force up from SK, but it's being absolutely shut down on all fronts. Shroud and nothing the biggest parts of it. We'll take the lead.
At this stage, it's damage control for the terrorists. Okay, Fallen. All right, fair enough, fair enough. He's still in this round.
Please Cloud9 close, so I'm not wrong. That would be really nice of you. I may eat my words in a moment here. Fallen keeps this up. He actually has a lot of time to play around with this too, in the head armor to boot.
As far as 1v2 goes, this actually isn't too bad. He's already picked up 2 kills, and sure, they knew where he was originally, but now so much time is passed, and so much more time can go by, that he is free to potentially get 2 1v1s. So Cloud9 may want to stick together here and not allow him to come through with 2 separate 1v1s.
Oh,
He's going to get
God.
the drop onto Stewie and goes back into Team A. He's still at 45 seconds. Fallen could be crafting a masterpiece, but very similar to the coldzera clutch. I can't help but feel that Cloud9 have been their own worst enemies here. Take nothing away from Fallen, but this should never be the case. Skadoodle is up in heaven. And Fallen could get the drop on him soon. He's spotted him. He's going to come straight down again. He knows that Skadoodle's likely going to have the AWP. Doesn't want to fire against him at range. Instead wants to make it into a more favorable position. Down comes Skadoodle. Fallen's going to chase him with a Tech 9. But Skadoodle will get the denial. And Fallen must be livid. But that was way too close for Cloud9.
Meanwhile, Cloud9 breathing a heavy sigh of relief. I am as well, because I almost ate all of my words, as that was a 1v4 that should have ended much earlier than it did, but Fallen showing you that there's several players on SK capable of being quite clutch, punishing mistakes, really making you work to close rounds, making you pay for every single mistake, and that almost turned out into an early victory for SK, but Cloud9 do hold on. And now they have a chance to extend lead even a bit further, be the first to reach double digits as long as they handle this bye effectively. I don't want to say anything now because while this should be, again, should the key word be an easier time for C9, we've definitely seen SK pose a lot of problems in rounds like this. And Cold could be the first one to do so as he's already snuck out a good bit with this Deagle.
Get the drop on nothing but nothing. Scampers away. Teasing coldzera, who gets a lot of blocks. Meanwhile, Fur on the approach to B site, not only going to get the bomb planted, but the kill on top of it. And although Fallen does get tagged, it's not enough to finish him off partially through the wall. This is where the superior weaponry, though, should start to push its way onto the site, claiming kills as it goes. A carpet of firepower. Fallen with a Glock headshot of all weapons, but he is going to fall down courtesy of autimatic. Molotov thrown out just to make sure no one pushes down ramp. Oh, autimatic looks away at a time that could have been so costly for his team, but he doesn't get punished, and he's going to hold on to the site right here, right now. He's trying to bob up and down, but it's going to be SK Gaming who take the round, and again Cloud9 make their fans facepalm in unison.
It's 2 rounds that they almost lost, and that one they actually do. It's 2 rounds where SK basically have nothing into it, and they take them to the brink both times. That's how they finish it off. They tie the game right back up. And Cloud9 are going to be left reeling now. It's triple scout. What the heck is this? What is going on in this game, dude? I mean, I don't even understand anymore.
Skadoodle went ham on Inferno with the scout. I mean, maybe that's the logic. Just 3 of them?
3?
Triple the chance? I have no idea, dude.
Yeah, it's...
But there's one kill, not with a scout, with a UMP, but that's going to be traded out for an AK. Bomb planted on B. And this is especially where the scout's going to struggle. Trying to retake a site with scouts, so good luck with that one. Autimatic's going to pick up 1 kill onto Taco. I mean, surely this can't happen, right? We've seen so many rounds like this
that
go
twice
away.
already, and I was horribly wrong in both cases. Well, I guess not. School did kill Fallen in that one round, but still, the fact that I got that close was pretty unreal. But yeah, this one we'll concede as C9 do have to take the save here. Holding on to that 8K armor is definitely big for Stewie. And this has just turned into a circus of a game these last few rounds, really. SK going to be the beneficiaries of it as they will take the lead back from C9. As again, the first map went to Cloud9, so SK looking just to try to force a third map. That's the goal right now.
Unreal Counter-Strike we've witnessed tonight. Sometimes not for the best reasons, I think it's safe to say, but Cloud9 do have an AK and a scout to work with. Maybe that is going to be the catalyst of something truly remarkable in this round. If not, SK could start to run away with this. Team main, where they're going to be stacking for the time being, or at least Taco is with the bomb carrier just behind him. Stewie's using his AK on E-box. Taco's going to miss with the AWP. Trades that across to Fallen, and out they will move. Smoke landing in Ivy. And Shroud is going to decide to see if he can't get something done with that USP at range. A quad stack on A for the time being, but now they are going to have a rotation from Stewie over on the B side. It's one of those kind of cases where you have to just go all in on something when you're this far behind on weaponry. Felps is still going to be chilling in the Ivy side. Skadoodle's up on the train. 3 players around him. 50 seconds left, and SK have still got a bunch of options. coldzera's going to be going down into Pop Dog alongside Fur. Meanwhile, Fallen has the bomb, and he's still just outside of B. Here comes felps from the side, going to look to try and close line as many players as he can. He's been tagged from the scout of Skadoodle. Down goes nothing on the site. That's going to open up B, which is going to be planted momentarily, and the rest of the team are being put in their place. Shroud with the 1 kill. That's likely all they'll get out of this, though.
Domination from SK across the board. Felps being the main actor in all of it with those 2 kills. Fallen with a duo of his own now as well. All Shroud has left to do is to try to save the AK, and he will not have even a glimmer of hope to do so. He's quickly pinched. So SK, they're pushing it now. They're up 11-9. The chances of that 3rd map are looking very likely unless Cloud9 can get something out of this buy round. They will not have an AWP, but they'll be able to have full rifles, an okay amount of utility. No kits, though. That certainly could pose problems.
Definitely. SK have been able to get their hands on a couple of bomb plants so far, including one they even lost. May not bode so well for Cloud9. Could this force them into more aggressive plays as a result? Well, Taco's gonna go down almost instantaneously. Nothing. The adversary, the assailant on this occasion, autimatic. They're gonna line up for him, goes for the spray. Nearly latching onto coldzera, who comes out of team main, who's good for 2 kills of his own. Does get put down to 19, and Cloud9, courtesy of Shroud, have the player advantage. Looking like they could actually steal this one away. Molotov. It's a connector, though. Stewie is going to have to drop down into the molly. He's a bit too scared about his vulnerable position out on the boost. Shroud holding from Ivy. Bomb looks like it could be planted, and indeed it shall from Fallen. Now they're going to try and mop up SK as they pull back from the site. Not forthcoming though. Fallen's on the site with the AWP. He's going to go for a quick peek, and he does spot Stewie, but in turn Stewie sprays him down with the M4. And I'll call coldzera. The only thing going for him is they don't know where he is. Now, he is a phenomenal player, one of the best, if not the best in the world, but this is maybe a bridge too far, even for a crazy talent such as him. And there we have it. Cloud9 will pick it up, and it seems like the lack of kit doesn't even matter in the end.
Almost, though, it did. Cold survives a few more seconds. All of a sudden, that round may, in fact, be going over to SK. So, still, Cloud9, even when they're fighting rounds, they've been so strenuous. Like, they've never really had a calm victory in a round. They've always been, you know, stressed out to the max in these rounds. So, the mental fortitude has got to be a big factor for them. But they do pull one through. It's 11-10. SK, though, buy it with their own double op setup on the T side. We'll see what they want to do with it. Looks like they're going to send Cold with his into inner. Fallen, of course, just T connector, kind of a standard spot to have it. Cloud9, though, not going to give them any opportunities to take a pick here. But autimatic has this aggressive position at Ivy. It's going to pay off. Takes down Felps, could even pick up his gun, but he wants to make sure it's safer. Doesn't know there's someone else there. Folks, grabs the AK and backs off.
Well, I'm going to throw the molly towards the site. Force nothing out of position. Meanwhile, another molly's been thrown on the green train, and some damage inflicted to Fur, who jumps back into the molly. He's forced to expend his smoke so we could retreat away towards the team main side and join Fallen. So 1-for-1 trade. Fur is low. Another Molotov connects on the site, forcing nothing out of position once more. But they're not really capitalizing on this. They're not moving behind it, SK. So they've already expended a lot of utility, and yet they're not really out onto the site. They only have a HE left.
That's very true. It's going to really come... And it's hard to push in, though, because you have 2 AWPs. Now, Fallen's phenomenal at playing close-range op duels, and that certainly helps a little bit, but still, trying to push in, you got to take your time. Ooh, just barely missed his nothing there. He had a great peek onto him, but doesn't quite pay off. Slowly working his way up, still gets the flick on nothing anyhow. Skadoodle quick trade at least, but And all of these frags, SK maintain the advantage as they come up into the last 20 seconds. Skadoodle, though, brings it right back in with this up. And wow, what a back and forth affair. What's going to happen here in the 1v2, though?
coldzera's playing a close angle, trying to get that no-scope. Oh, plant the first one to Stewie, who just didn't really seem to react to that whatsoever. And now Skadoodle comes back with a kill of his own. And Cloud9 just about hold on, but as you've already said, it came down to the wire again. And Skadoodle, who had very little impact in the first half, is starting to get those impact kills now, just when Cloud9 need it most.
Yeah, really big play out of him there to save the day. As that was really a scary moment. Again, Fallen gets up close, he gets his pick onto nothing. Gives them a chance to get that bomb planted. coldzera also had an opportunity there to even clutch it up again, but Skadoodle does hold them off. Just a back and forth affair does finally favor C9. They've won a couple of rounds in a row now. They've tied the game back up, but still SK have not run out of money. And Fallen, I think he did spot a leg there. He's waiting for him to come back in the vision. Not going to come to fruition, however, so he's not going to get that chance, but there'll be plenty of more opportunities as there's still plenty of time on the clock here as SK spread the net.
11 apiece. Again, nothing to distinguish between these two teams. In terms of economy, it's almost identical too. Both teams in a very similar situation. So much rests on this, the fulcrum point of not just this map, but potentially the entire event. If Cloud9 win this, they will be the Subaru Invitational champions. SK now going to start to move together. They got felps going through Ivy. He's going to try and run some interference, maybe a fake, while the rest of the team barrels their way through onto the site. Taco, an automatic. If this position doesn't get checked, he's going to go ham, and he indeed will with 2 kills with the spray down. The flashes are there as well to stop the push, and Cloud9 with a textbook brilliant defense on B. Nothing could have been done by SK. Now felps, who was originally the flanker, is now all that remains. The lone Brazilian up against Cloud9. And if Shroud doesn't take him, you assume that one of the other Cloud9 members will.
Yeah, Cloud9 will take the lead back finally. They've been fighting these past few rounds. Their backs have been up against the wall. It's come down to a lot of 1v1 situations or 2v1 situations. It's not been easy, but they've weathered it out. Now they will, here towards the end, at least pull around ahead. Great inner defense, as you noted. Just both playing up close on the lower ramp, using that barrels position or spools, whatever you want to call it. Very powerful stuff. Playing off of each other very well. Pretty rare you see 2 players commit to playing that close on inner. Obviously, it makes it difficult to rotate outer without doing some type of brown house flank if you do that, but a calculated risk that pays off with a high reward, because now SK are just on a very low buy. Now, saying that, they've definitely posed a lot of problems in rounds like these.
Yes, even with worse buys than this, they have came out triumphant over Cloud9. That being said, they were on the CT side as opposed to the T side, where they could play more of a passive, sort of come at this bro mentality. It doesn't really work as well on the T half. But they have weapons that want to get up close and personal with these Tech 9s, the AK and the P250. And the double op set up against them, I'm not writing SK off just yet. The downside for them, though, they have no smokes. It's going to have to be flashes into a push. felps with the lone AK, again, is going to be trying to look around the back as he's going to push out. No smokes, no flashes, and he could get the drop on Skadoodle here. He was just a couple pixels away, but this is butt-clenchingly frustrating for felps, and he must be hating his life. He's like, Skadoodle, come on, bro, I had you dead to rights, mate. Stay still, let me kill you. Instead, SK are out on the B side. They are at least going to get a bomb plant, so you're expecting it to be another clean-up job by Cloud9.
That was quite the dance that was being dished out there between felps and Skadoodle, and you got to think that if felps gets that kill, this could have caused a lot of problems in the round, but he does come through. And while they concede the plant, they retake perfectly fine here. Will come through. Cloud9 will get to 13, and again, it really did come down to just another butt-clenching moment in the outer yard. There's been a lot of sneaking around going on in this game. People getting through T-Con, you know, unspotted up until right at the crucial moment. Brilliant. What a game.
We've been blessed tonight with a whole bunch of great maps. Not necessarily always for the right reasons. It has been entertaining stuff, and this map has delivered too. Cloud9, are there more twists and turns in this tale yet? Are SK going to bring us back into a nail-biting conclusion?
At this point, all bets are off. All logic is off the table at this point. A lot of these rounds have been super chaotic. Like you said, crazy twists and turns. It's like M. Night Shyamalan's out here writing the narrative of this game. But Cloud9 do have a couple of rounds banked up to hold on to a bit of a lead here. But here comes SK charging through into the outer yard.
Been here before. They've started to charge, but it hasn't really got too much speed just yet. The momentum is being cut off. The roadblock of autimatic and nothing are chiming together and stopping players in their tracks. Autimatic with another one, capitalizing on the flashbang, completely blinded out Fallen. And now it's all on Fur, but not for much longer. Cloud9 have navigated the way over one hurdle, 2 more potentially to go. And SK back into a horrible economy. They could go for a buy, but they have to come in with some UMPs, you have to feel here, if they did, just for extra utility.
Yeah, definitely, and they have to though, right? I mean, Cloud9 are going on the series point. You feel like you have to go for this, and it does mean limited utility and no AWP, but certainly they have plenty of capable riflers on this team, and this, again, great hold by Cloud9, playing up close, using their utility very well to hold SK off, and then hitting some key shots in the opening duels. And so now they finally have potentially the tournament victory just a couple of steps away. Equal exchange so far on the inner yard here, but Fur cracks open the outer bomb site with Phelps, and now all of a sudden Cloud9 are up against the ropes in this round.
Impressive play. I thought they might go for some UMPs. They went for full AKs. It has been working for them so far. Skadoodle up 1 on 4, 31 health. The card stacked against him, and he will be put down. Will be another buy forthcoming with Shroud on 11k and Skadoodle on 11k. And Stu on 6.4, they can drop and get together a solid buy. So, SK not out of the woods just yet.
Well, certainly not. And if anything, they're doing some rebuying here. So money could be very low when Cloud9 goes for the win if they can take this round. So that is something to keep in mind. But they do have a really good buy here. This is even better than last round. They have the op. They have all the utility. Taco wasting no time sprinting out and just running it all the way back towards Ivy. He has not even really been spotted either. So much chaos in the outer yard.
But in amongst all the chaos, you'll find autimatic and a sea of terrorists. He is the lone island that Cloud9 have got to hope and pray on. It won't be happening. Skadoodle at the last second sees a second player peeking him. I think that threw off his aim. And it would appear that we are going to have some more twists and turns yet, Dust, because Cloud9, if they lose this round, they're going to have no economy. You'd expect to see it come to 14 apiece, but Shroud is still alive in this one, and he quickly decides it's probably a player pushing behind me, goes for the preemptive spray. 2 on 2 now. They have a kit in Stewie's hands, and also an AWP. He's going in for more, going to try the spray down onto a couple of players that are peeking. Falling gets headshot out from Shroud. Is this clutch a reality? Is this possible? coldzera just has to play the time, and this round will be his. And indeed it shall, but what an attempt from Shroud. NT. But it will go the way of SK.
The way this game is played out, you'd like to give Shroud the chance there, the way things were playing out. He definitely got in a couple of really good frags to make it close, but in the end, couldn't find Cold fast enough. The clock his enemy, and we're still going down this rather treacherous road of a game, as it is 13-14. Money low on C9. They have the one rifle Shroud saved, but that's it. SK, great chance to tie things up. And again, map 3 could still very well happen the way things are going at this point. That's what SK is playing for, to try to see if they can move along. Nothing. You're not finding a Zeus kill against that bunch.
Firing squad will beat the taser. He always goes for those kind of purchases, though. He actually got a Zeus kill earlier today. He is cheeky with that. Cloud9 back onto just the M4 Shroud, who so bravely fought against a whole bunch of Brazilians in the last rounds.
Nothing can do there except for take a little bit of a laugh. If anything, saving Shroud's M4 again is got to be a priority. Now that inner yard's been taken, they'll hear the bomb going down shortly. Gotta hold on to that. Money's still very low. He has a kit as well. Shroud has so much he can save here. And he could probably even drop somebody a gun in the next round. So that's going to be the focus here. So we'll be tied up. No question about that. It's about whether or not Shroud can carry over the gun. Not going to happen. Felps here to clear it out. That hurts a bit. In fact, it hurts a lot.
Oh, but what would remedy the situation is if autimatic can sneak an AWP out of this.
What in the world?
No, he's going to get picked off from the backside. Cloud9 do have an AK in the hands of Skadoodle, and the P250 up close and personal will not best Felps. They do hold on to an AK, but unfortunately for Cloud9, it's not multiple assault rifles, it's just the one. It was looking like for a second there, maybe they could have saved an AWP, which would have been a real body blow to SK.
Dude, if autimatic gets one more kill, they might have still had a chance to win the round, it seemed like. There wasn't much left there for SK inside the inner yard to stop autimatic from just barreling through if he finds another frag. That almost got really scary. Nonetheless, we are tied up at 14. And Cloud9 still able to piece together a pretty solid buy thanks to the way they've approached the last couple of rounds with their money.
Oh,
spots that leg, doesn't quite hit it though.
Not far off though, was it?
Ooh,
and he has the in-game IQ to realize, I need to get the hell out of here because I have no backup at all. And he would have been dead had he just stayed in position there. Nothing would have definitely got him. So smart to get the hell out of that. This does mean that nothing has control over team main though, which in itself is pretty important for Cloud9 when they consider they only have one kit and very few nades left.
I'm really going to check this corner with the AWP. Oh my goodness, you could slice this with a knife at this point.
And this is such a key point as well. If either of these players go down, it gives a huge advantage to the opposite number. It seems like they both decide to peace out of there instead. So nothing ventured, nothing gained for either team. Still, with 40 seconds left, all 10 players remain. All 10 players on full health too. Gotta feel that SK should be in the driver's seat considering the lack of utility the Cloud9 have. They do still have 2 incendiaries though, it should be mentioned, but it's more like the lack of kits that could be the issue. 25 seconds now. This is getting into the realms where all Cloud9 need to do is just get a spray off and a couple players to fall, and the round could be theirs, and it could be nothing. It's Skadoodle that are going to go and do just that. The bomb is no longer heading towards the site. It has to relocate. You think twice about this one. Taco and coldzera both come through with kills, and now they can start to make the trek along to the site. Big kill from Taco on the site itself. And although Shroud has put down Fallen, there's still another 2 players on the site side. Shroud with another headshot, leaving coldzera with just 2 health remaining. He's using the close angle to his advantage. The bomb not quite planted in the position you'd expect from this position itself. But both Shroud and autimatic are checking everywhere apart from where coldzera is. This is valuable time that's being whittled down. And Shroud doesn't have anyone to help him out here. But coldzera's whiffed and it's going to cost him the round at such a vital moment as well. And Cloud9 will take the lead once more.
And in all the confusion, they make sure the guy with the kit gets on the bomb. At least that doesn't come back to haunt them. And so Cloud9, they do find series points. A lot of props to nothing. He was holding on to T-con position for so long. He never overextended. He waited for the perfect timing to make a play, gets fur, eliminates that portion of the attack, and Shroud manages Ivy so well in all of that, staying alive, coming through later on, and closing out the round for his team. And so Cloud9, they might just do it. They're going to get one chance to end it 2-0. SK looking just to force the overtime, just forcing a chance to try to get to a third map. This has been such a great game. And here it comes.
Just a deagle for Fallen as well, Dust. No kit, nothing. Kevlar, I should say, or nothing now, nothing. Himself is going to go to town, and Felps is going to be the player to fall. autimatic is in the prime position to strike, spots coldzera, and it looks like the days of SK are numbered as Cloud9 are going to town. They're picking up kills all over the place. Shroud's going to come in with another one, and now it's all on Fallen. He's got this deagle in hand. This would be one hell of a clutch to pick off. Such a huge moment in time as well. He's going to take the AK, and he's going to try and run with it, but he gets put down, and Cloud9 will win the Subaru Invitational.